Gospel Faith TV. For more information, call the number on the screen, 647-472-8255. A member of our staff is standing by. Or visit the website, gospelfaithtv.com. Call now. Gospel Faith TV, taking the gospel to the world.
Welcome to Gospel Faith TV. I'm your host, Andrea Thompson, and I'm here this afternoon with Farah. She is the compiler of Confessions of a Single Mother. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. And she has a group of young ladies with her this afternoon, and I'm just going to have them introduce themselves. And we're going to start with Stephanie over here. If you can just begin and tell us who is Stephanie.
Okay, my name is Stephanie Martin, and I'm a single mother of 2 boys. My struggle is the fact that I work overnight, getting them up in the morning and not being able to sleep until they're gone to school.
My name is Atisha Sanderson. I am a single mother of 3 girls, one that lives with my mom, and the other 2 I raised by myself.
I'm Tanya. I'm a single mother of 7 children. I currently live in Niagara region and I work as a personal support worker.
Hi, my name is Tracy Acadia Thomas. I'm now a wife and a mother of 2 beautiful boys. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of a new Christian online magazine called Soulful Image.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and I am a married woman, and I have experienced the single motherhood, and I'm so happy to be here today as I do have my own organization called Embrace Women's Services, and this is an organization that is very, very much involved with the community and supporting single moms and just women alike. So very happy to be here. I have 3 boys and a husband, and so I am the only reigning queen of my castle.
And I am Althea Morgan. I'm a lawyer, a philanthropist, and entrepreneur. I currently have established Brighter Minds Youth Initiative, which is a nonprofit organization which helps young people with their tuition costs, getting through college, and empowering themselves. I also have 3 boys.
I'm Brianna Worthy. I am a single mother of 1 beautiful daughter. I am an aspiring human rights lawyer and doctor of cognitive science. I currently have my own under-the-table business, and it is basically dealing with holistic healing and wellness. I am also a motivational speaker and healthy lifestyle life coach, and I have a great passion to see people do better and strive towards greatness and just overcome trauma in a healthy way, and I believe that I contribute to that, seeing that I am one of the examples of that as well.
My name is Nicole Morgan. I am also now a wife. But I was a single mother raising 4 children. I'm also the owner of Supreme Mobile Salon and Spa, which is a full-service luxury mobile experience.
Hello everyone. My name is Winnie Smith. I am a single mother of 5. I'm also empty nesting. Kids are grown up, and I have all the time in the world for the Lord. I'm also a minister. I'm attending Canada Christian College, and the first 3 months I've gotten my lay pastorship because of my testimony. I've been tested, been through many trials. My struggle as a single mom, I was married to someone when I first had my 3 children, and I was hurt by friends that I put up in my home and by women. So my struggle was being able to not to respect women in their relationships because I've been hurt so bad by them. So this is my story, and I like to share the goodness of God and to empower people. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Farah Hodgson, the compiler of Confessions of a Single Mother. I'm a born-again Christian, and I'm a single mother of 5 children. My background is Jamaican Chinese.
So it is absolutely amazing to have you ladies here. You all come from different backgrounds, different experiences, and I myself, being a single mother, understand the struggle. And as our compiler, I'm just going to ask each of you, what inspired you or led you to be a part of this book? And I'll start with you.
Okay, so what inspired me to do this compilation with Farah and the rest of the ladies here is the fact that I want to empower and inspire women in the community worldwide. I want to basically uplift single mothers and women in general, and make women know that they're more than what they society makes them out to be. I'm working on my certification in coaching, so that I will be coaching women in the future, and I do a bit of counseling here and there, and also doing a degree at your university.
What inspired me to be a part of this book is wanted to share my story. I wanted to share how do I put it? You see, I wanted to show people how it is to be my age, the struggles that I go through. I am a widow. I was widowed at the age of 27, so I wanted to share what I go through with other mothers who have been in my position as well, and I guess basically tell my story. As my shirt says, this is my story. This is just destiny, because I haven't been in this group for a long time. I know that I do have a voice. I know we all have a voice, and just listening to everyone introduce themselves just tells me like I'm at the right place. You know, you know, this is just destiny for me. Like it's just overwhelming for me right now. You know, there are other women out there that are struggling just like us, and when they look at this, they're going to see that they're not alone. You know.
Right. And the beautiful thing is you have a voice, so you're echoing what other women may be going through at this season in their life.
Yeah.
So we thank God for that, right? And it's encouraging. You can just tell us.
I actually just heard about this book project last week through Althea, one of the women. I was eager to get on board because back in high school days, I loved writing. It was a passion I had, but having 7 kids, the more they came, that passion got pushed aside. Being a young mom, having my first at 16 and having 7, I obviously have many trials I've been through, many experiences. I'd like to be able to tell my story to others, even if it's just in bits and pieces, to encourage other women who are going through similar things, and also to younger women who haven't been through these things yet, maybe as a deterrent to them, maybe to advise them to go on a different path, make better choices. And also, I think it will be a healing to me too, to be able to start to open up about many of the things I've been through.
Wonderful. Tracy?
I wanted to be a part of this because I think that sharing your story it's a powerful thing. I myself gone through a lot in my life, had to leave home at the age of 13, dealing with a lot of physical, emotional, and verbal abuse. So as I become a mother now, it was challenging. So, you know, it's hard enough dealing with a lot of those emotions, and now having to raise children, and you know, if you're having trouble loving yourself, how are you supposed to love this child in your life, right? So to be able to really express that and let other single mothers know, you know, everyone goes through that. Everyone goes through challenge. Everyone has their story. And I think it's important for us to share so that we know that we're not alone, and that we can support each other and even grow from each person's story and take what we can to build ourselves and build a positive life for ourselves and our families. So I think it's a great thing to be involved in.
Beautiful. Awesome. Jackie?
Hi, yeah. So when I heard about this project, well, I met Farah at a conference that I was speaking at, and she was putting out the invitation. I thought, I don't fit the bill as a married woman, but it provoked something in me, because I realized that the women that we are today, it is a compilation of who we were yesterday.
Yes.
And so when I thought about who I am, I'm called MJ, and MJ stands for Mama Jackie, Miss Jackie, Minister Jackie, and all of that stems from the ministry that I'm involved with women, and depending on who I work with, they associate. And one of the reasons why I am so passionate about women's ministry is because when I was a teenager, I became pregnant. I was going to school, I ran away from home, you name it, I did it. And today, when I minister, I don't really speak about who I used to be. It's people that knows me from back in the day are like, mouth drop, how did you get here? And I saw this as an opportunity to be able to share my story, because when I was a teenager, I had no voice. I didn't have the mature voice speaking into my life. There was nobody at that time that said, don't drag your child on the bus at midnight and be roaming the streets. And so I didn't have that voice of another woman. And so I'm here today simply to share how I went from there to here, to share the fact that as a woman, we're here to support. There's a community of women that are saying to the audience, to other women, that I've been there. And I'm not going to give you a handout, but let me give you a hand up. Let me share with you where I've been and see if that can somehow elevate us from where we were to where we need to be. So that's my passion.
And for myself, the reason why I wanted to be a part of this project is the fact that I really believe in education, and I have educated myself to a certain level. And being a single mother, that was difficult because most of my time in school was at the point where I was a single mother. And the detachment that I felt when I left my kids, it was really I was really heartbroken, and I felt guilty. There was the stigma that I wasn't supposed to leave my children to pursue a better life for myself. I was supposed to stay at home with them, care for them, and do all that. I did my law degree in England, and I had to leave my children behind. It was emotional, I was heartbroken, but I wanted to share with other women who are thinking of perhaps pursuing a career or starting a business, entrepreneurship. I just want other women to know that, listen, you are doing this for the betterment of your children, and there's no need to feel guilty, there's no need to be ashamed, there's no need to feel embarrassed that you have to perhaps take a little bit of time for yourself, and leave your kids with maybe grandma or a friend or a relative. There's no shame in that. And go for your dreams, fulfill your dreams, whatever your passion is, live that out. And whether or not you have children, it doesn't stop you from being who you really want to be. Because at the end of the day, the children are going to be the ones who will benefit from your struggle. They're going to benefit from your sacrifices. And I just want to share that with other women and say, listen, go forward and do whatever it takes to make your children happy and make a better life for your family at the end of the day.
Awesome. Hi. I took the opportunity to be in this book because Farah Hodgson had contacted me and told me about this wonderful project, and it was just it just happened in the right time that I was already thinking and working on a plan to develop my own bio, and I had asked God to provide a platform for me prior to that, to allow me to get insight on how I would execute something like that, because I didn't have any former experience with writing material of this sort. And I'd met her at the prayer palace in her nice pink fluorescent wedding gown, I call it. It was a wedding gown, guys. I'm not even lying to you. It was gorgeous. She was decked out from head to toe. But she caught my attention if she was selling this book, and she said it was from Pain to Passion. And I was like, oh my God. And I just connected with her. And from that moment, I had been praying about it. And we hadn't connected until she had called me about this book idea. And I said, you knew, God. You knew exactly what I needed. And that's how I was brought to this opportunity. I would definitely say that I would
make a huge contribution towards this project simply because I have probably had many experiences in and out of different compartments of single motherhood. I have had different scrutiny from peers, from older women. I'm a teen mom, and that's kind of the stigma that I suffer from. When you say teen mom, it's kind of attached to something like you're not ready, you don't know what you're doing, this is not time for you. But really and truly, I've been raising children since I was 6, so I'm going, this is natural to me. What are you talking about? And then also getting the reality that, yes, if things were to go according to a proper plan, that 16 is not the time. Although I do have the skill set and I do know what to do, it is not the time to have a child. And just allowing myself to grow and develop a sound character and personality and get to know who I am to the public, who I am to me, who I would be as a wife, because that wasn't even on the table. I had no idea what these titles were and meant to me or other people, and how to present myself in a wholesome way. Or being originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, there's always this thing attached that, people from Louisiana can't carry themselves well. They're very poor in mindset and they don't know what they want to do other than just make money or degrade themselves. So for me to come to the North during Hurricane Katrina and then be given experiences that helped me grasp that understanding of what life would really be like for me if I were to develop into someone more profound, what that would look like, and get the experience from being around women such as yourselves and understudying other professional heads.
Well, for myself, writing a book was always something that I thought of based on the fact that my life just involved, like it was like a reality show, I felt, to myself anyway. And people would always ask me things like, Nicole, how do you do that? How are you raising 4 kids and you're so young and you're okay, and on top of that you're dealing with breakup to make up with your child's father, or in a case where my first 2 daughters, their father's been missing for 13 years. So we've literally been dealing with that, the emotional part of that in our home. Then leading to the fact that after 20 years of being in an in-and-out relationship where I literally felt like I totally lost myself. So the reason I wanted to be part of the book is because I realized, as you said, the confessions of a single mother. And my confession was more that my struggle wasn't really actually being a mother to my children. It was that the fact that I realized I didn't really love myself. That could be the only reason why I allowed so many things to happen, so many opportunities to be lost, so many things just weren't right within me, and I realized they started to roll over into everything I was doing, whether it had to do with finances or, again, opportunities, even starting a business. Literally, I just started it, no education on what to do, and then as I got into it, I just started to educate myself. I then realized, and I know it's cliche to say you have to love yourself before you love someone else, but it's very true. How can I internally have internal language that tells me every day, this too shall pass, or I will be a better woman, I'm going to be a better mother, I'm going to be the best friend, the best wife, and then externally showcase that at the same time without it being fake or feeling fake to myself. So back to my reasoning, it was more so that I just wanted to be able to share with women that I figured out ways how to cope on a day-to-day basis. I literally used to put up sticky notes and say to myself, this too shall pass, every single day. I mean, I don't go to church every Sunday. I don't read my Bible all the time. I definitely have faith and believe in God. However, that just resonated. It worked every day. This too shall pass, and it really did. And here I am 20 years later in a relationship, now a wife to this same man that I feel like I lost myself with, and then he just came back in and regave me. It's not a real word, but you know what I mean. He just restored. He repaired and restored. But I added to that by now being a little bit more confident when he came around and things like that. So I just feel like, every day women are dealing with different things in their mind, and when you change your mind, you change your life. I really believe in that. So I want to be able to give that to somebody else and go into coaching and teaching people how to cope daily.
Awesome.
And, yeah, that's it.
Yes, I was inspired to write this book. I followed Farah Hodgson on Facebook. I met her on Facebook, and she was sharing things about her health and about what was going on with her. And I used to send posts with prayers and agree with her that it was well, and and pray for her. And she take a liking. I got a message one day. I came home from work. She said, "If you have a minute, can you call me?" And to send my number. So I sent my number on Facebook, and she called me the night after. Okay, we spoke, and it was so real. She just opened up to me about the way she was.
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
She opened up about the way she was. I shared some story with her, and she said to me, "It's divine connection."
Yes.
No, I've been writing, but I have so much to share. It was overwhelming. So I asked my mom, my daughter, and I tried to be strong. God, it's my strength. So I was inspired that I have so much to share, and the trials was rough. The minute I pray for people that if someone is ill or something, then the enemy goes after my parents or my daughter or my children, left and right and center. I was going into ministry and everything stopped, be an intercessor, did all the exam, answer the questions, and everything just went, stop. Next thing, every time I'm going into something, I get so much attacked. I'm sorry. Yes, and I know that right now God is saying it is time to share my word, and I just want to encourage all the single mothers out there that there's been some time when you think that the man you're with, is the one God chose for you. When God doesn't choose that man for you, you're gonna have trials. You're gonna have, baby mother drama. You're gonna have things happen to you that you don't even know yourself. And if you don't give your life to Christ, for Him to choose the right man for you, you will have all these struggles. Because I've been through it. I've been through it, and I remember after my husband, I put up with some things. Doctor called me, someone I put up in my home because my daughter's friend, my sister's friend. I put her up because every time I said I'm not doing it because women, I be pity, I serve, I help them, they don't have anywhere to live. I take them in and they hurt me. It's always with my husband. And I put everything out. I put the furniture, I put anything I cut this picture off and I said, no, you're out. I had my 3 children, they look so much like him. On and off, and I put the pictures, the furniture, everything out. I said, "You're done," So I just want to, let the single mothers know that as long as God didn't give you, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And if you're going through trials, you need to get in the Bible. You need to get in the Word. Yes. You need to give God your life. He said, ask anything of me when you pray, and I will give it to you. He said, pray, all these things, pray, and all these things shall be added unto you. I'm just going to share this quickly. After my husband, I started going out with my sister and my girlfriend just to die out the pain and the pressure. Going to parties, enjoying myself, yes. I might have 1 or 2 drinks at that time. But I just go home and I just crash. I just know that I don't need to think about him. I become strong. I don't need to think about him and the situation. I just need to move on. I just need to be strong. And then at one point, I start dating someone who is married. No, ladies, don't go there. Because a lot of things, come upon you. You get hurt. God doesn't like that because what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. And things were happening and I don't know why is all these things happening? Come to realize that because, I disrespect these women because they have hurt me. Doctors called my home to tell me that my pregnancy test was positive. It wasn't me. It was the woman that was staying in my home. The kid is born, and she's older now, but she's around, and she comes. I treat her like my own children. The mom went back to Jamaica, and she had another one. My husband went there, another one, and came back here, and I treat them like my own. I still have love for these children. Remember, the child was the child that caused my husband and me to part, but I heard her say from her own mouth, I love her. My nickname is Queenie. She said, I love her no matter what they say. But who is they? Her mom.
Right. And you see, that's why it's so important that you share your story in this book. So when our readers read it, they will hear that passion of each experience, because everyone here has a story. And it's beautiful that we're able to compile that in a book. But what inspired you to actually put this together?
Well, the reason for me writing my books is because, the reason that I started writing is because I overcame certain situations in my life. So my first book, Pain to Passion, talks about one season where before I became a Christian, and I was loving all the wrong things and all the wrong ways. So when I decided to do Confessions of a Single Mother is because I feel like I'm still a single mother, and every day I'm living the testimony of the struggles. Like yesterday, I even, just every day I'm struggling with being a single mother, right? Because of the fact that it's hard. It's hard. The time management, trying to work a full-time job, just because you only have two hands. Right? And especially when it's 5, it's a lot. So I wanted to collaborate with other women that are going through the same, situations, and even if they overcame their situation, we can let the community know, let everyone know, other single mothers, how we overcame the situations.
Right, and it's a beautiful thing as we hear the passion in Winnie, how the Lord had delivered you. He brought you into such a place where it's amazing. It's amazing to see what God has done in your life. And we know as single mothers that the struggle is real.
Yes.
Right? And that even in being this place where you are now, what was your major struggle when you were at that place, when you first found out? I know for myself, having my 3 children, and I was a teen mother, and going through, a lot of people were putting me down because of the fact you weren't finished school. So going back, trying to finish school, and you had people ridiculing you that you wouldn't amount to anything. What would you say to somebody right now that may be watching?
That don't give up. Sometimes certain things have to be on hold, but you have opportunities everywhere that you can get whatever you need to get, resources to go to school, to have, how should I say, to have people support. There's a lot of communities in the church, communities outside the church, to help and give you support to do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter how limited the situation may seem or sound at the moment, but once you start and you get that motivation and you keep at it, you'll continue to prosper and continue to move forward and not look back, and move forward into your new purpose, your new life, your new setting.
Yes, awesome. Did you want to share?
I would say, don't give up. As she said, don't give up. I think without God, just keep, like I'm here and I'm listening to everyone, and this is like, my eyes are wet, my chest is hurting me, because I feel that we're all at different levels, right? With whether it be Christianity, whether it be in single motherhood, my struggle is being a single mother. I felt that I didn't deserve it, I always wanted to be a mother. I wanted to be a wife. I didn't set out to be a single mother. That was a struggle for me. And she was saying, I remember bearing myself with alcohol, and trying to have fun, But I feel that never give up. God doesn't forget you. He don't forget you.
He doesn't.
I went into that car. I never know I was going to meet you, you know. And then I'm hearing people have the same struggle. Just remember your children. Always think about your children. Always just know that it's not the end.
That's right.
It's not the end. Be around positive people, positive influences. Try to, elevate yourself, whether it be you go to school, whether it be, you build yourself for your children because it's you alone.
Right.
I struggle with the fact that, I see people treating their children bad, and I know that if he was here, he would never do that. So I can't understand that. I just can't, And I don't know. I mean, I know this is just the beginning of my journey, and I know that you guys are around me for a reason.
Yes.
But the main motto is just don't give up. Don't give up.
And we thank God for grace because we know that His grace is so sufficient.
Yeah.
Right? It's what's kept us and it's keeping us through into the next chapter.
Yes.
Right? And each of us, if you wanted to share really quickly, I know we have to wrap up for time, but
quickly, similar to what Atisha said, don't give up.
that's right.
Because so many times I don't think, if it wasn't by the grace of God, I wouldn't be here. Some days, even up to now, I don't have a desire to even be here, alive. Like, it's too difficult. But ask for help, seek help, surround yourself with positive people, like Atisha said, and
Yes.
just keep your head above the water. I just keep
Right.
trying, and not giving up. You know?
Can I
Go ahead.
interrupt?
Go ahead.
And the thing is, you deal with people based on energies. Anybody that is poisonous to you, your children, get
them.
rid of them.
Toxic.
Get rid of them.
Toxic.
Get rid of them.
It's contagious.
It's very true. And we thank God for the support that is in this group, and also for groups like Embrace that we can go to and you can just pour out the tears, the passion. It's real, and I'm really glad that the viewers are able to see that this is real. It's a real struggle, but to be honest, as you open the book, you're going to see live stories, but overcoming stories.
Yes.
Right? You all are overcomers. We're overcomers, right? Which is a beautiful thing. So if you wanted to just wrap up, if you wanted to tell a bit of your struggle. I know
My
you're
struggle,
transitioned
yeah,
now, and you're
I
married.
have to say, if I ever questioned me being here, the questions are gone. I am so blessed to be here and listening to all these stories because you see the mirror image of your own coming out in so many ways, and it's awakening and quickening something in my soul. And so I remember being a teenage mom, and my biggest struggle, and I'm hearing it weaving in and out of everyone's story, was my unmet expectations from the man, my unmet expectations from the father, from the baby daddy, whatever you want to call him. He did not meet some of my needs, and I continued to chase after this man to fulfill the need of a father, of a man, of everything that I felt was in him. But I thank God for his grace, because there came a point when I met the father to the fatherless, when I met the heavenly Father that said, Jackie, I will supply all your needs according to my riches, and his riches are unending. And so when I shifted my expectation from the human man and put it on the Son of Man, my first husband, my heavenly Father, that's when my life began to change. No longer was I reliant on this man's resources, which he couldn't give to me. And I love what was said here. I didn't realize I didn't love myself. I was willing to lay down and play dead for somebody that could care less about me. And so there came a point where I had to shift my expectations. There's a lot of missing things in our lives, and we usually look for somebody else to fill the gap and the void. But when I realized that whatever is missing, God said, you are whole in me. I will meet your need. That's when my life began to change, and my role as not just a single mother, and I'll write about that, but as a mother became real. I became real. The struggle was real, but the realness of who God is shifted and changed my expectations.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Does everybody else wanted to
Yes.
share so we can,
Add to
Okay.
that as well too, when you spoke about your unmet expectations as well from the man, I wanted to add that sometimes it is a mirror image of what it is that is not ready in you as well too. Because my experience, I'm only 25 and I've only possibly been in love about twice over the last little while, but I know that any time that I was looking for expectations, these were things that I couldn't even meet myself. That I was not ready for, I was not prepared for, and that came from being ready and being more developed. Though I'm only 25, I'm Southern. We're very mature in the South, and we have these mind states where even though we're very young, some of us marry very young. And I come from a family of women that were marrying at 13, 14, 15 years old. So I mean, I'm bringing all of this love and affection and let me care for you stuff to the north, and these men are like, whoa, these girls up here are not like that. They need us. There's not the other way around. Don't get it twisted. But, and also, sometimes, you know, we want things to be done in such ready fashion as well too. You know, I know that when I started writing and I started using my gift to paint pictures of birds, God was giving me little jewels. And I remember one of them was, yesterday should have been the day, but today is the day right now. What is happening today that you are joyous for, that you are glad for, that you are, what is giving you the ability to do today, right? Your health is your wealth and your ability to do, and anything that you feel that you can contribute to, you do that. You allow yourself to be useful to others on principle, not for a tangible return, but for the principle of doing. As mothers, I learned this very early on from children. Children never want to do anything if they're not getting a return, right? And I taught my daughter how to do just because when she would do tasks, and I would teach her when she cleaned her room how to simply just appreciate the cleanliness of the room. Not simply because you're going to get a treat or a toy or something for keeping your room clean, because that is just creating clutter. But just look at the environment you created for yourself. Look at how nice it is in here. You can think clearly. You can appreciate it being in here. And one of the struggles that I was going through is that being young and being able to walk into environments where people who were in workplaces and environments that they've been given education on something to help me, I already knew. I was already speaking about it. And so they feared me a lot, and they were often putting me down, going, oh, well, you come from an abusive background. How could you possibly be standing in front of people at 16 telling them that this is what to do? And 2 words for that, it's called lived experience. It will topple anything. Once you live through something, you've survived it, you've gone through it, you know how many nights it took to get over it, you know how many days it took to get over it. You can go back and help other people through that tunnel, just like she's Run Your Truth. She did that with just sheer bravery and just the knowledge, knowing that when she made it through the first time, when she knew she was going to go back and free others, she knew what weak points to hit, and you know exactly how to speak and say, I know it's going to get tough, Tanya, when you're thinking about your depression. It's a weak point that is just, the enemy knows when you're right on the brink. You're right on the brink of a breakthrough. And just that one thought that is going to set you back 1,000 steps will trip you.
Yes.
And it is not worth it to stay stagnant there. It is not worth it. It is worth it to say, oh, yeah, but that was just long ago. It's not worth thinking about it, no matter what is present. Even though it's not you, you have 7 children, it is going to be okay. It works through your children too. For me, in my household, my mother had many children from many different men. We're a house of mixed blood. And whenever my sisters and I started getting on each other's nerves, we would start going, oh, it's because your daddy is this. It's because your law is this. Oh, but we're all from the same mother. You know what I'm saying? We're all from the same mother. And it doesn't matter if my daddy was a drug head or your daddy was a this, a gangbanger or whatever. It's just, our genetic makeup in itself, we contributed to our own characters and personalities, and we have to stop thinking that all of these things are affecting who we are. We make our choices, we do what we want because we want to do it, and when you're thinking clearly and you're making clear-headed choices, you can clearly musicianalize where you're going and the path that you're taking from a better standpoint.
Right.
And in my experience, what is happening right now, God is teaching me right now how to do that, how to stand firm in the face of adversity, how when questions are asked like, okay, so your daughter was in children's aid, how can you tell me how to parent? Well, second of all, I've been a lifetime parent. I've been parenting since I was very young, and I don't naturally every day, you don't have to be doing something every day to know how to do it. When you have a mind and you can apply it and you know just how things function, how they go, how they're supposed to work, what is wrong and what is right, you can help someone else do something.
Right. And I love what you're saying. It's so important. And this is Confessions of a Single Mother. And there's so much more to talk about. We can go on for hours of talking and sharing different stories. I know everybody has something that they want to add, but for the sake of time, we're just going to wrap up. Where can they find out more information? Where can they get a copy of the book? And just closing, can you just share with us, please?
Okay, so the book releases December 16th, and I'm going to have all of these ladies create an author page so that the ladies, the young women, the single mothers, whoever can relate to each lady's story, they can contact them on their author page.
Beautiful. So I want to thank you all, ladies, for being on the show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. This is Andrea Thompson for Gospel Faith TV. You can follow us on Twitter or check us out on Facebook or our YouTube channel. We hope you are inspired. Please stay tuned. God bless and walk by faith and not by sight. See you next time.
Gospel Faith TV. For more information, call the number on the screen, 647-472-8255. A member of our staff is standing by. Or visit the website, gospelfaithtv.com. Call now. Gospel Faith TV, taking the gospel to the world.